All right, we're now going to talk about something called critical activities. So let's write that in. Let's write in critical, and I might do it in another color. Let me just do it in orange. Why not? Nothing special about this color, but we're now going to talk about something called critical activities. All right, critical activities are activities that can't be delayed. The way that we can identify our critical activities is that the LST is going to be equal to the EST. So in other words, if they're equal to each other, what that means is that the float time of critical activities is going to be 0. So if we look here for a second, here my EST is equal to my LST. My EST is equal to my LST, which means this right here, A and B are critical activities. Meaning what? So how is A a critical activity? It means I can't delay A without impacting the overall time. Because let's imagine for a second that so let's say I started activity B at, I don't know, let's say I started activity B at 11 seconds instead of 10 seconds. Well, now, if that happens, if I start it at 11 seconds instead of 10 seconds, that means it's going to be 11 plus 300 is 311. And all of a sudden, I've pushed everything back. Everything is now being pushed back because I've changed this critical activity. We spoke about in our last part, we could change this time here. We could delay this. We could do what we like here because we've got so much of a float time here. But over here, there is no float time. The float time is 0. We cannot delay this. So too over here. Can you imagine if we started activity F at 316 seconds? If we did that, we're going to push everything off because if we started at 316 seconds and it takes 3 seconds to do activity F, we're then going to be finishing this whole activity at 319 seconds. And that's because our EST and our LST are equal there. In other words, the flow time is 0 because when we subtract this from that, we get 0 out. So that is the idea of a critical activity. And from the critical activity, we can therefore create something known as a critical path. And that is the sequence of critical activities of the project. So for instance, in this example, it is simply going to be when the numbers, my EST is equal to my LST. And I can draw a nice, so I've got 0, 0, ready? 0, 0, 10, 10, 310, 310, 315, 315, 318, 318. So I create something known as a critical path by highlighting or drawing through where my LST is equal to my EST. And that's something known as the critical path. All right, everyone, that is a nice little summary of everything that we're really going to do in this lesson. This is what we're going to do in this lesson, everything here. We're now going to talk through some notes together, but this is kind of the crux of all of it. So I've really taken my time going through all of this in this little part here, but now we're going to read through some instructions of all of this right here. Let's begin.